welcome back. My name is Will Bro, and this is my second episode of my 2-episode podcast series on climate change, where I will be showcasing some cool actions that people and communities are taking in order to deal with this problem that we are facing. One example of how our local government here in Champaign area is increasing its use of sustainable energy it can be found at the Urbana Sanitary District. Rick Manor is the executive director of the Urbana and Champaign Sanitary District, which is where all of the water waste from this area ends up. This facility has these machines that are called anaerobic digesters that take all of our water waste, separates the solids and liquids, extracts methane gas, and then that gas is then stored for later use. This gas is then turned back into energy that the plant then uses to continue this process. The facility creates a third of its own power by extracting natural gases from the area's waste. Manor says that this is a clean and safe way to cut back on energy use.
It's entirely controlled. It's termed a biofuel because it comes from natural origin. It's considered a renewable resource as opposed to the fossil fuel methane that most of us burn in our homes.
Manor also talks about an Illinois state government incentive that is in place where government facilities are given incentives to utilize renewable energy resources. They're called renewable energy credits.
In our case, we would still continue to do what we're doing in terms of producing the natural gas on our own because it was actually profitable to do this in 2005 is when we installed the cogen units. It made sense for us to do it then.
Dylan Firth is a student here at the University of Illinois, and his family is also big on finding new ways to utilize sustainable energy resources. His family recently made the decision to install solar panels on their home.
Then a few years ago, we took the next step and installed a solar panel. And while they may be expensive at first, it does help us save 25% energy. So essentially that means for every 4 hours of use, it'll save 1 hour of electricity.
Shrag Khushlani is an international U of I student who was born and raised in the city of Dubai in the United Arab Emirates. He believes that the government in Dubai is making huge strides in terms of making changes for sustainability. He says that the government is implementing policies that involve requirements as to how government buildings are built and what they're made of.
50% of the operations are actually supposed to be through sustainable resources. I think that's a big push that the country is going for, especially even getting sustainable cities and then making sure that they make laws such as the government buildings need to follow a protocol of ensuring that they're more sustainable in their consumption as well as the way they're actually constructed.
A common problem that our country is facing in terms of making changes for sustainable energy sources is our current administration's denial of the legitimacy of the problem of climate change. Our current president continuously denies its existence.
So Obama's talking about all of this with the global warming and that, and a lot of it's a hoax. It's a hoax. I mean, it's a money-making industry, okay?
That audio clip came from last January of 2017 in a statement that President Trump made to the press. To this day, Trump continuously denies that climate change is real, even after the recent report that was sent to the government conveying the destruction that climate change is causing. Even when he visited California after the devastating wildfires that burned large amounts of communities, Trump still denies the fact that many scientists claim that wildfires that we are seeing are as bad as they are because of climate change.
Does seeing this devastation, though, change your opinion at all on climate change, Mr. President?
No. I have a strong opinion. I want great climate. We're going to have that, and we're going to have forests that are very safe.
Professor Donald Webbles at the University of Illinois, who was a part of the government report, was contacted by the Washington Post to talk about what his response was to what the president has been saying about climate change. Webbles believes that their rationale as to why they deny the idea of climate change isn't based on science at all.
To these these denial comments all the time. It's just nonsense and doesn't match any of the data. They're not usually based on data. They're usually just some broad statements that climate has always changed and there's all kinds of natural cycles and their denial has nothing to do with the science. Their denial has to do with their politics for whatever reason that is. Whereas the scientists are only concerned about putting out the truth and our understanding of what is happening. We have no politics behind what we're trying to do. We're aimed at just trying to get the truth out there and trying to help our nation move forward.
Webbles says that he continues to deal with climate change deniers to this day and hopes that we will hopefully start to see change in how our government perceives this problem. That is all the time that I have today. Thank you so much for tuning into my podcast series where I have discussed the growing problem of climate change. Please subscribe to my channel to find more of these cool stories. My name is Will Bro. Have a great day.